Hello, welcome to this short video about Beyond's Key Stage 3 Curriculum Map. I'll be giving you a quick rundown of how this map works, all the different elements that are included, and how you could implement it within your own departments or homeschool learning environments. So the first thing you need to do is go to twinkle.co.uk, go to the Key Stage 3-4-5 area and visit Key Stage 3 English. You will need to be logged in for this in order to download this map. You then need to click on Key Stage 3 English Curriculum Map, visit the map here, and then simply click Download Now. So what that's done is opened up a folder with all the different documents associated with the map in. They're all PDFs. They can be opened very simply with a PDF reader, whichever one you have. We're going to look first at the curriculum map overview. So if I double click there, and then make that window larger. So this is the curriculum overview for the whole of Year 7, 8 and 9. So it offers lessons and units of work and resources for every lesson from when students start those first lessons in Year 7 all the way through to those final lessons in Year 9. This is an overview, so obviously you don't get a lot of detail on this view here, but what you do get is clickable links. So each of these units of work in every half term throughout the year is clickable, and if you click on them they will take you through to the unit of work on the Beyond website. As you can see, I've just clicked through to Moonfleet there. So if we go through to the map and we view it in actual size, here we go, you get a better view of what there is available. So every half term we have different units of work available, and it's important to stress here that all the resources on this map have been created by qualified teachers, they've been designed by professional designers, and they have bespoke illustrations from our illustrators. So what that means is that the resources all have an incredibly professional and engaging look and feel, but they are also practical and they offer excellent classroom activities which enhance teaching and learning. So they're based on the tried and trusted experiences of teachers. So if we just go back and have a look at one of these units of work, just so I can give you an idea of what they include, we'll have a look at Sinister Stories in Year 8. So all of these units of work will include a unit overview, which gives you a breakdown of all of the lessons within that unit, all the national curriculum objectives that are being met, any skills, any activities that are available within those lessons. Each unit of work will also have an assessment, an end of unit assessment on offer, so that you can see how students have progressed within that unit. They will also have a homework pack so that you can give out homework activities at the beginning of the unit, and then students can work on those according to your own individual homework timetable. All our units are differentiated for ability levels, but we do appreciate that teachers will want to adapt and change these lessons as they see fit. After all, you are the experts in the room. Nobody knows your class better than you. What we're trying to do is give you the headspace to be outstanding within your classroom. So let's go back to that curriculum map. The next document that we should probably have a look at is the objectives mapping. If we open that up here. Now this is a great overview document because it tells you exactly which national curriculum objectives are being met in which units of work throughout Key Stage 3. So you can see in this column we have all the national curriculum aims and objectives. We have reading, writing, spoken English, grammar and vocabulary, and we also have across the top here the red are the Year 7 units of work, orange are Year 8 and green are Year 9, and you can see each of those units of work and each of those objectives are clearly mapped out there. Now if you're not sure which objectives these numbers are referring to, then you can go to the Programmes of Study here, which is simply a copy of the National Curriculum Programmes of Study for English at Key Stage 3, and that will give you the numbers so you know exactly which objectives are being referred to in which schemes. So it's now probably time to have a look at the curriculum maps in more detail. These top 3 documents are our overviews. Here we have Year 7, Year 8 and Year 9 in more detail. So as an example, I'll start by opening Year 8. So let's view it, zoom it out so that we can just see. There we go, that gives you an idea of what the map looks like. And here you can see we've got each of these units of work, but in a lot more detail here. So this is for Year 8. So let's go back to the actual size so you can see that. So, for example, here we start Year 8 with a dystopian fiction unit, and you can see we have all the reading, writing, grammar and vocabulary and spoken English levels referenced here. So you can see here exactly what aims and objectives are being met within this unit of work. You also have a link to the end of unit assessment, so you can get to that very quickly. So how did we decide what to plan into the map? Well, in each of Year 7, 8 and 9, we start the autumn term, as you can see here, with a very short reading unit and a very short writing unit. And this is to offer you the opportunity to establish baseline reading and writing levels very early in the year. So you can see where your students are sitting and what progress they should be making throughout the year. We then offer a variety of genres and skills throughout the year. So, for example, in the second autumn half term, as you can see here, we have a reading unit on The Picture of Dorian Gray, the novel by Oscar Wilde. And it's worth stating that all of our literary heritage texts come with the text included in the unit of work. So if you don't have copies of Dorian Gray within your stock cupboard, there's no need to worry. They will be available within the unit of work. You don't need class copies in order to teach this unit. So let's have a look at Year 9 and see how that's similar to Year 8. So you can see here again, we start with a reading and a writing scheme, and then we move on. We have a Shakespeare scheme. The Key Stage 3 map has 2 Shakespeare plays, A Midsummer Night's Dream and Much Ado About Nothing. In Year 9, with Much Ado About Nothing, the unit of work is focused not only on national curriculum objectives for Key Stage 3, but also on GCSE assessment focuses, because we know that students are starting to look forward to their GCSE curriculum. And you can see here we include some contemporary literature as well. It's worth saying that we don't have texts available within the units for contemporary novels due to copyright reasons. However, we have tried to pick texts that are readily available within stock cupboards. So we think that probably most schools will have copies of Mice and Men within their literature cupboards. And so this should be readily accessible to you. We've also got some wonderful poetry schemes which address both older texts, and we've got modern poetry. For example, here in Pop and Poetry, we look at the relationship between music and poetry. We have modern play texts. We have Blood Brothers at the end of Year 8. And we've also got a really wide range of non-fiction reading and writing. So here we have a fantastic non-fiction writing scheme based around a whodunit mystery, with lots of transactional texts involved. And also at the end of Year 9, we have a non-fiction reading scheme, which is very much geared towards those skills that students will really need within their GCSEs. Now, we're also aware that teaching SPAG can be a challenge sometimes. So we've included for every single half term a SPAG unit that teachers can access as much or as little as they want to accompany the teaching of those other units that they'll be doing. So here in Year 9, you can see we have the SPAG Samurai units, which are a fantastic and engaging spelling, punctuation and grammar activities for students. The other thing that we offer is a library unit, as you can see here, which also spans the whole of Key Stage 3. So every half term there is a new booklet of activities for students to engage with. Now, obviously schools approach library time in different ways, so you can pick and choose which units best suit your requirements. So some of the units are dedicated to cementing key skills such as skimming and scanning. Some are focused on research and study skills, as you can see here. And some, like this one at the beginning of Year 9 called Aiming High, help students to consider their options as they look towards their GCSE. And then finally, for seasonal occasions and celebrations, we also suggest some activities and lessons. So, for example, here we have activities for Black History Month, for Halloween, Remembrance Day, World Book Day, Easter, all the way through to a final end of term schools out for summer quiz. Now, to accompany this curriculum map, if I just go back to the website here, in that Key Stage 3 English Curriculum Map area, we also have a performance indicators RAG sheet. So that if you wanted to track your students' progress against the national curriculum objectives using the Key Stage 3 English Curriculum Map, we also have assessment sheets, which are not dissimilar to the old APP sheets, which can be used throughout that Key Stage 3 experience to accompany the map. So you can see we have all of the national curriculum aims and objectives here, and you can red, amber, green them for each pupil. So I think that covers everything you need to know about the Key Stage 3 curriculum map for English. I think the important takeaway here is that it can be as much or as little as you want it to be. If you wanted a curriculum in a box, then it can absolutely do that. It has everything you need to teach English at Key Stage 3. But if you just wanted to fill in the odd gap in your current provision or find a new scheme to engage your students with, it can also just be used as a quick way to do that. So our key aim when creating this was to make sure that we made your lives a little easier and gave you the headspace to be outstanding within your own classrooms. So, if you do have any feedback, please do let us know. I'll show you on the website. We have a feedback box that you can fill in. We're very responsive. We love hearing both positive comments and ways in which we can make our resources better. So I hope you found that useful. Have a great day.